Hello everyone, I am Karen J. A. Kirit, a fourth-year Bachelor of Elementary Education student, and welcome to this pre-recorded lecture discussion on the principles of teaching. In this session, we will explore the fundamental principles that guide effective teaching and learning, covering essential strategies and approaches that foster meaningful student engagement and academic success. This discussion is part of my B.Ed ASES 3 requirement and will serve as an educational video on the professional education subject. Teaching is a dynamic and purposeful process that requires a deep understanding of how students learn, the methods that promote active participation, and the principles that support effective instruction. By mastering the principles of teaching, we empower ourselves as future educators to create a positive and productive learning environment that nurtures student growth and achievement. Now join me as I analyze 90 test items for this subject. Without further ado, let's begin. So, question number 1. To ensure the lesson will go smoothly, Teacher A listed the steps she will undertake together with those of her students. This practice relates to? The correct answer is letter C. A teaching strategy is a planned approach that guides both the teacher and students in achieving learning objectives. Listing down the steps ensures that the lesson is organized and structured, which reflects strategic planning. So now let's proceed to question number 2. The class of grade 6 Einstein is scheduled to perform an experiment on that day. However, the chemicals are insufficient. What method may then be used? So the correct answer is letter D, demonstration. So when resources are limited, a demonstration allows the teacher to perform the experiment while students observe. This ensures that students still grasp the concept even without direct hands-on experience. Now let's go to question number 3. Pictures, models, and the like arouse students' interest in the day's topic. In what part of the lesson should the given materials be presented? So, the correct answer is letter A, initiating activities. Initiating activities or the motivation are meant to engage students at the beginning of a lesson. Using pictures and models at this stage sparks curiosity and helps students connect to the lesson. Now question number 4. In Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives, the domains are stated from the lowest to the highest. Which of the following objectives belongs to the lowest level? So the correct answer is letter A, to identify the characters of the story. So the lowest level in Bloom's taxonomy is remembering, which involves recalling facts or basic information. Identifying characters requires simple recall fitting into this level. Now let's proceed to question number 5. Which part of the lesson does the learner give a synthesis of the things learned? So the correct answer is letter D, generalization. Generalization is the part where students consolidate and summarize the lesson's key points. It helps reinforce learning by connecting to it to the prior knowledge. Now let's go to question number 6. Educational objectives are arranged from simple to complex. Why is this? So, the correct answer is letter A. Each level is built upon and assumes that acquisition of skills from the previous level. So, learning follows a hierarchical order where mastery of simple skills is needed before progressing to more complex ones. This reflects the structure of Bloom's taxonomy. Now, let's proceed to question number 7. Why does the teacher have to plan the day's activities? So the correct answer is letter D. The accomplishment of the objectives is dependent on the plan. So a well-planned lesson ensures that the teacher covers all necessary content and achieves the learning objectives effectively. So let's go to question number 8. So when using instructional materials, what should the teacher primarily consider? So the correct answer is letter B. It must be suited to the lesson objective. Instructional material should directly support the lesson's goal. Even if the material is attractive or engaging, it's ineffective if it doesn't align with your objective. Now let's go to question number 9. Devices can make a lecture more understandable and meaningful. What is the most important thing a teacher should consider in the selection and utilization of instructional materials? So, the correct answer is letter A, objectives of the lesson. The primary consideration should be whether the material helps the teacher achieve the learning objective. If not, it becomes a distraction rather than a support tool. Now let's go to question number 10. Which of the following attributes characterizes a learner who is yet to develop the concept? So, the correct answer is letter C. The learner can distinguish examples from non-examples. So recognizing examples and non-examples shows that the student is beginning to understand the concept, but true mastery comes when they can apply it independently. Now let's proceed to question number 11. Learners must develop not only in the cognitive and psychomotor, but also in the affective aspect. Why is the development of the latter also important? So, the correct answer is letter A. It helps them develop a sound value system. The affective domain focuses on values, attitudes, and emotions. Developing a sound value system enables learners to make moral and ethical decisions, which is essential for holistic development. So now let's proceed to question number 12. Which of the following reading skills belongs to a higher level? So the correct answer is letter A, drawing conclusions. Drawing conclusions requires higher order thinking, which involves synthesizing information and making judgments based on evidence. Other options like stating the main idea and following directions are lower level skills in Bloom's taxonomy. Now let's proceed to question number 13. The strategy which makes use of the old concept of each one teach one of the 60s is similar to letter A. So, letter A is the correct answer, which is peer learning. So, the each one teach one strategy reflects peer learning where students teach and learn from each other, reinforcing knowledge through interaction. Now, let's proceed to question number 14. Which of the following counteracts the teacher's role as a facilitator of learning? The correct answer is letter A. Does more talk than learners. So, a teacher-centered approach where the teacher talks more than the students limits student engagement and active learning, which goes against the facilitator role. A facilitator encourages more student interaction and exploration. Now, question number 15. Which of the following practices violates the guidelines in asking questions? The correct answer is letter B. Call on pupils before asking questions. So proper questioning technique involves asking the question first before calling on students. This allows all students to think and formulate an answer rather than just the student who is called on. Now, question number 16. What is the implication of using a teaching method that focuses on the why rather than the how? So the correct answer is letter D. Teaching methods should favor inquiry and problem solving. So focusing on the why encourages critical thinking and understanding of underlying principles, which promotes inquiry-based and problem-solving approaches to learning. Now, let's proceed to question number 17. When using a problem-solving method, the teacher can best support students by. The correct answer is letter D. Helping the learners define what is to be solved. So defining the problem is a crucial first step in problem solving. It helps students focus on the issue and find appropriate strategies to address it. Now let's go to question number 18. Learners must develop not only in cognitive and psychomotor domains, but also in the affective domain. Why is the development of the latter also important? So the correct answer is letter A. It helps them develop a sound value system. So the affective domain influences values and decision making, shaping how learners respond emotionally and socially. Now let's go to question number 19. Which of the following characterizes a well-motivated lesson? The correct answer is letter D. There are varied procedures and activities undertaken by the pupils. A well-motivated lesson engages students through varied activities that cater to different learning styles, ensuring active participation and interest. Now let's go to question number 20. Which of the following best characterizes an effective classroom manager? The correct answer is letter C. One who is friendly yet business-like. A teacher who is friendly but maintains professionalism creates a positive yet structured learning environment, ensuring that students respect the teacher's authority while feeling supported. Now let's go to question number 21. Which part of the lesson does the learner give a synthesis of the things learned? The correct answer is letter D. Generalization. Generalization allows students to summarize and connect the key points of the lesson, helping them consolidate their understanding and apply it to future learning. Now let's proceed to question number 22. Educational objectives are arranged from simple to complex. Why is that? So, the correct answer is letter A. Each level is built upon and assumes the acquisition of skills from the previous level. So, the Bloom's taxonomy emphasizes a hierarchical structure where higher order thinking builds upon foundational knowledge and skills. Now, question number 23. Which of the following is not true about lesson planning? So, the correct answer is letter C. Students should never see a teacher using a lesson plan. There's no harm in students seeing a teacher refer to a lesson plan. In fact, it shows preparedness and structure. The other options highlight good lesson planning practices. Question number 24. What should a teacher primarily consider when using instructional materials? So the correct answer is letter B. It must be suited to the lesson objective. So the material must directly support the learning objectives to ensure that it contributes effectively to the intended learning outcomes. Now let's proceed to question number 25. When planning a lesson, Which question should a teacher ask first? So the correct answer is letter C. What do I want to accomplish? Clearly defining the learning objectives is the foundation of effective lesson planning. It guides the choice of materials, methods, and activities. Question number 26. Which of the following is an important consideration in designing classroom activities? The correct answer is letter A. The concept learned is applicable to daily life. So learning becomes meaningful and retained longer when students can see its relevance to their daily lives. Question number 27. Which of the following describes an effective teacher's approach to questioning? The correct answer is letter B. Questions should show spontaneity, variety, and credibility. Effective questioning engages students, encourages critical thinking, and adapts to the flow of discussion. Now let's proceed to question number 28. In outcomes-based education, which of the following best measures a student's learning? The correct answer is letter D. Demonstration of skills and knowledge in real-life situation. So outcomes-based education, or OBE, focuses on the practical application of knowledge and skills rather than just memorization or test performance. Now, question number 29. Teacher Melvin prepares a step-by-step guide for both himself and his students to ensure a smooth lesson flow. This practice refers to letter B, teaching strategy. So the correct answer is teaching strategy, because a teaching strategy is a planned and organized set of steps or methods to achieve learning goals effectively. Now let's proceed to question number 30. How can a teacher best encourage active student participation? So, the correct answer is letter C, applying interactive instructional strategies. So, interactive strategies like group work, discussions, and problem solving keep students engaged and actively involved in the learning process. Now, let's proceed to question number 31. When selecting the best teaching method, which factors should be considered? So, the correct answer is letter A, 1, 2, and 3. The characteristics of learners, lesson objectives, and the availability of materials or sources all play a crucial role in determining the most effective teaching method. Now let's proceed to question number 32. A history teacher collaborates with an economics teacher to discuss ASEAN qualifications framework from different perspectives. This approach is called, the correct answer is letter B, integrated. An integrated approach connects different subjects, allowing students to see relationships and broader perspectives across disciplines. Question number 33. To promote cooperation rather than competition among students, which teaching approach should be used more? The correct answer is letter C, collaboration. Collaborative learning encourages teamwork, communication, and mutual support among students, fostering a positive learning environment. Now, question number 34. Which of the following is not a valid method for checking students' understanding in direct instruction? So the correct answer is letter D, administering tests only at the end of the unit. So effective direct instruction includes ongoing assessment and feedback, not just testing at the end of the unit. Now question number 35. Teacher Amy demonstrates the deductive method of teaching in an English class. She asks students to outline the steps of a deductive method, then uses their outlines to start the class discussion. Which teaching approach did she use? So the correct answer is letter A, deductive. In the deductive method, the teacher provides rules or general principles first, followed by specific examples or applications. Now, question number 36. A teacher encourages students to explore ideas independently while guiding them through discovery. This approach is most appropriate for a. The correct answer is letter B, student-centered class. A student-centered class shifts the focus from the teacher to the students, encouraging exploration, inquiry, and independence. Now let's proceed to question number 37. An integrated teaching approach is more effective than teaching isolated pieces of information. What should teachers avoid to ensure effectiveness? So the correct answer is letter C, teaching to the test. Teaching to the test limits critical thinking and deeper understanding, reducing the benefits of an integrated approach. Now let's proceed to question number 38. A judge is evaluating whether a public official is guilty of corruption based on unexplained wealth. Which reasoning process should be used? The correct answer is letter D, inductive reasoning. So inductive reasoning involves drawing a general conclusion from specific pieces of evidence or observations. Now question number 39. The following are strategic thinking skills in problem solving except? The correct answer is letter D, memorization of facts. So strategic thinking involves analysis, reasoning, and problem solving, not just memorizing facts. Question number 40. Which classroom setup demonstrates differentiated instruction? So the correct answer is letter B, assigning different tasks appropriate to each group's needs. So differentiated instruction tailors tasks that approaches to meet diverse student needs, ensuring effective learning for all. Question number 41. Successful learners take charge of their own learning. Which trait does not support this? So the correct answer is letter D, passive and dependent learning. Successful learners are active, goal-oriented, and independent. Passive and dependent learning contradicts these traits. Now, question number 42. When is the lecture method most appropriate? So the correct answer is letter D, when the subject matter covers a broad scope. Lectures are suitable for covering large amounts of information efficiently. However, they should be balanced with interactive methods. Now, question number 43. A teacher asks purposeful questions that challenge students to think critically and justify their answers. This style is called letter A. So the correct answer is letter A, Socratic. So the Socratic method uses thoughtful questioning to stimulate critical thinking and encourage students to explain their reasoning. Now, question number 44. What learning strategy allows students to create and maintain personal digital journals? So the correct answer is letter B, consolidation. Consolidation involves reflecting on and organizing learned material, which fits with maintaining journals. Now, question number 45. Which of the following is a clear example of flexible learning? The correct answer is letter D, online learning during a pandemic. So flexible learning provides adaptable learning methods based on student circumstances, such as during remote or online learning. Now, question number 46. Which classroom setup allows students to freely discuss different perspectives without fear of ridicule? So the correct answer is letter C, buzz session. So a buzz session encourages open and informal discussion where students feel comfortable sharing thoughts without judgment. Now, question number 47. A triadic interaction involves three people. How many people are involved in a dyadic interaction? So the correct answer is letter A, 2. A dyadic interaction involves two people communicating directly. Now question number 48. A teacher wants students to examine a topic from multiple viewpoints. Which method is best? The correct answer is letter C, symposium. A symposium allows different speakers to present varying perspectives on a topic, promoting deeper understanding. Question number 49. Teacher Aya assigns students to act out a courtroom trial to evaluate a social issue. Which method is this? So the correct answer is letter B, simulation. A simulation replicates real-life situations, allowing students to apply knowledge in a controlled environment. Now let's proceed to question number 50. Which of the following ensures effective questioning during a class discussion? The correct answer is letter B, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So effective questioning should be relevant, encourage critical thinking, promote deep responses, and focus on metacognition, which is thinking about thinking. Now let's proceed to question number 51. You receive a partially correct student response. What is the best feedback approach? So, the correct answer is letter D. Provide constructive feedback. Constructive feedback helps students understand what they got right and how to improve on what's wrong. Now, question number 52. A teacher asks a question, pauses, and then calls on a student. This questioning strategy is called, the correct answer is letter C, calling on non-volunteers. Calling on non-volunteers encourages participation from all students, not just those who are eager to answer. Question number 53. Which is the correct sequence when framing a question in class discussions? The correct answer is letter C. Ask the question, pause, then call on a student. This approach ensures that all students have time to think before answering, leading to better responses. Now question number 54. A teacher asks, is this answer correct? A student says, no. The teacher then asks, why not? What questioning technique is used? So the correct answer is letter C, probing. So a probing question encourages deeper thinking by asking students to justify or explain their answers. Now question number 55. Teacher Karen delegates some of her responsibilities to the whole class. She assigns separate student monitors for attendance, classroom cleaning, and distribution of learning materials. In which aspect is she good at? So the correct answer is letter D, classroom management. Effective delegation is a key element of strong classroom management, promoting responsibility among students. Now let's go to question number 56. What is the ultimate aim of classroom management? So the correct answer is letter A, to set up conditions that bring about effective teaching and learning. So good classroom management creates an environment where learning can happen effectively and smoothly. Now question number 57. So what classroom approach is applied when teacher Zani uses a variety of techniques, such as rewards, reinforcement, and others, to sustain interest and effective learning? The correct answer is letter B, behavior modification approach. So behavior modification relies on positive reinforcement and consequences to shape student behavior. Now let's go to question number 58. Which facilities should be present in a health-promoting school environment? The correct answer is letter C, number 3 and 4. So sanitary drinking fountains and safe playgrounds are essential for a health-promoting school environment. Selling junk foods and mixing comfort rooms for boys and girls can create health and safety issues. Now let's proceed to question number 59. Teacher Heisen was assigned by her peer teacher to make a PowerPoint presentation to a large combined class for a research paper on drug use in schools. Which seating arrangement is most effective? The correct answer is letter D, traditional pattern. A traditional pattern which contains rows facing the front is suitable for lecture type presentations where the focus is on the teacher or the screen. Next is question number 60. What initiative contributes to positive learning and classroom management? The correct answer is letter B, effective routines and drills. Routines and drills provide structure and predictability, which are essential for a well-managed learning environment. Now let's go to question number 61. For effective classroom management, when should a teacher undertake the task of setting up routine activities? So the correct answer is letter B, on the very first day of school. So establishing routines early sets the tone for classroom expectations and helps students adjust quickly. Now question number 62. How should classroom rules and procedures be best prepared? The correct answer is letter B, in consultation and partnership with students. So involving students in creating rules increases their sense of ownership and accountability. Let's proceed to question number 63. Eye winking, waving hands, and nodding are examples of letter. What answer? The correct answer is letter A, gestures. So gestures are non-verbal cues used to communicate messages. Now let's go to question number 64. A child who is restless and disruptive is asked to run an errand. By the time they return, they have calmed down. What classroom management technique is being used? The correct answer is letter B, antiseptic bouncing. So antiseptic bouncing is redirecting a restless student to a different task to prevent misbehavior. Now, let's go to question number 65. Among mistaken goals in the acceptance approach to discipline, what happens when students seek to hurt others in response to feeling hurt or rejected? The correct answer is letter A, revenge seeking. Students who feel rejected may act out in revenge to cope up with emotional pain. Now, question number 66. A student with a mild hearing impairment struggles to follow oral instructions. What is the best strategy to address this? So, the correct answer is letter B, provide written instructions along with oral ones. So written instructions reinforce verbal communication and support students with hearing challenges. Now, question number 67. Differentiated instruction aims to meet diverse student needs. Which scenario best demonstrates differentiation? Well, the correct answer is letter B, letting students choose how they demonstrate learning. So, differentiated instruction allows students to express understanding in ways that match their strengths. Now, let's go to question number 68. How can a teacher best promote inclusivity in a diverse classroom? So, how? The correct answer is letter C, adapting teaching methods to accommodate different learning styles. So, adjusting methods ensures that all students' learning needs are met. Now, question number 69. So, a student with dyslexia struggles with reading printed text. What adaptation is most appropriate? So, the correct answer is letter B. Provide audiobooks and text-to-speech tools. Audiobooks and assistive technology make content accessible to students with reading difficulties. Now let's proceed to question number 70. A student has difficulty following multi-step instructions but performs better when given one direction at a time. So, what do you think is the learning challenge do they likely have? The correct answer is letter B, attention deficit disorder or ADD. So students with ADD often struggle with processing and remembering complex instructions. Now let's go to question number 71. A student with physical disabilities struggles with movement-heavy activities. What is the best inclusive strategy? Well, the correct answer is letter B. Provide assistive tool and modified activities. So, why do you think so? So, inclusivity means ensuring that every student can participate meaningfully in all activities. So, these assistive tools like the wheelchairs, grip aids, and modified activities like seated basketball instead of running basketball allow physical disabled students to engage without feeling excluded. So for example, in PE, if students are playing a relay race, the teacher could modify the activity to allow students with mobility issues to use scooters or throw a ball instead of running. So, question number 72. A teacher applies universal design for learning UDL. To make lessons accessible to all students, which teaching practice aligns with UDL? So, the correct answer is letter B. Providing multiple ways for students to engage with content. So, why do you think so? So, UDL focuses on creating a flexible learning environment that meets the diverse needs of the learners. So students have different learning styles, such as the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. So providing different ways to access content ensures that all students can engage effectively. So for example, a teacher might present a lesson through a video and a group discussion and also a hands-on activity. So those activities are suitable for visual learners, auditory learners, and kinesthetic learners. Now let's proceed to question number 73. So what is the best way to assess the effectiveness of a teacher's classroom management approach? The correct answer is letter B. Measure student engagement and learning outcomes. So why? Effective classroom management creates a positive learning environment where students are focused, engaged, and achieving results. So if students are participating actively and their performance improves, the teacher's management is working. So for example, if a teacher introduces group work and student participation increases while test scores improve, this is a sign of effective classroom management. Now let's proceed to question number 74. So a school administrator is reviewing different classroom setups to improve student collaboration. So which layout should they prioritize? The correct answer is letter C, horse show arrangement. So horse show seating encourages face-to-face interaction, making it easier for students to communicate and engage with both the teacher and each other. So for example, in a class discussion, students in a horseshoe layout can see each other's faces and body language, promoting better communication. Now let's proceed to question number 75. A teacher wants to implement student-centered learning while maintaining structure in the classroom. What is the best approach? The correct answer is letter B. Use inquiry-based learning while setting clear objectives. Why? So inquiry-based learning allows students to explore topics and ask questions while structured objectives keep them on track. So for example, a science teacher could let students design their own experiments, but ensure they understand the key concepts they need to master. Now let's proceed to question number 76. A school leader evaluates teachers based on student performance on standardized tests. What is a major limitation of this evaluation method? The correct answer is letter A. It does not measure teacher effectiveness in classroom management. So why? So standardized tests measure knowledge retention, not just teacher creativity, motivation, not about teacher creativity, motivation, or engagement strategies. So for example, a teacher might engage students well but still face low test scores due to external factors. Next question number 77. So a principal observes that disciplinary issues have increased after shifting to student-centered learning. So what should the next step be? Well, the correct answer is letter B. Provide teachers with additional classroom management strategies. Why? Student-centered learning requires different management techniques like clear rules and consistent routines. So, for example, teacher could use group contracts or peer accountability systems. Now, question number 78. A teacher incorporates flexible learning strategies in their classroom. So, what is the best way to determine this approach is successful? Well, the correct answer is letter A. Compare student performance before and after implementing flexible learning. So why? So performance improvement is a clear indicator of learning success. So for example, higher test scores and better project quality after introducing flexible methods. Now, question number 79. So, what is the most effective way to ensure classroom rules and procedures remain fair and beneficial for students? So, the correct answer is letter B. Review and revise classroom rules in consultation with students. Why? It is because students are more likely to follow rules they helped create. So for example, a teacher could have students suggest fair consequences for tardiness. So why are the other options wrong? So for A, C, and D, the top, bottom, or rigid rules decrease student buy-in and cooperation. Next is question number 80. A school is evaluating its inclusive education policies. What is the most important factor to consider? Well, the correct answer is letter B, the accessibility of learning materials and classroom support. Why? So inclusion means providing the tools students need to succeed. So for example, a visually impaired student should have access to screen readers. So the other options, which are A, C, and D, are wrong because in A, number of students with disabilities. So it's not about how many, it's about how well they're supported. For option C and D, teacher workload and task completion rates don't measure true inclusion. Now let's go to question number 81. A teacher adjusts their lesson plan to accommodate a student with dyslexia. What is the best way to evaluate if this accommodation is effective? The correct answer is letter B. Measure improvements in the student's reading comprehension and engagement. Why? So effectiveness should be measured by whether the accommodation helps the student improve academically and engage better with the material. If the student's reading comprehension improves and they actively participate more in class, the accommodation is working. So for example, if the teacher uses audio-assisted reading and the student starts understanding the text better and participating more in discussions, it is a sign that the strategy is effective. So why are the other options wrong? For option A, asking the students. So feelings are subjective and don't always reflect learning progress. For letter C, comparing grades, dyslexia affects learning differently. So comparison with classmates is unfair. So for option D, assessing reading time. So more reading time doesn't mean better comprehension. Now let's go to question number 82. A school implements universal design for learning, or UDL. So to support diverse learners. So how can its effectiveness be assessed? So what is the correct answer? So the correct answer is letter B. Observing whether students are given multiple ways to learn and express knowledge. So why? So the UDL promotes flexible teaching methods, so success is measured by how well students can engage with and express their understanding in different ways. So for example, providing options like writing, oral presentations, and visual projects allow students to demonstrate learning based on their strengths. So why are other options wrong? So for A, same assignments. So UDL is about flexibility, not uniformity. For option C, single teaching method. So UDL requires multiple approaches. So it's not the best option. For letter D, student opinion. So student comfort matters, but UDL's goal is improving access and engagement. So it's not the correct answer either. So the correct answer is, again, letter B. Now, let's proceed to question number 83. So a student with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is struggling with group work. So what is the best way to evaluate whether the teacher's support strategies are working? So what is the best way? Well, the correct answer is letter B. Observing if the student's social interactions improve over time. Why? So ASD often affect social skills. So an increase in positive interactions is a sign that support strategies are working. So for example, if the student starts initiating conversation or participating more in group tasks, the support is effective. So for options A, this is wrong because independent tasks, social interaction is key, not just independence. For option C, comparison with neurotypical classmates, ASD presents differently, and comparison is, unfair. For option D, asking if they enjoy it. Well, enjoyment doesn't always reflect progress. So again, the correct answer for number 83 is letter B. Now let's proceed to question number 84. So, what is the best way to assess if assistive technology is benefiting a student with a learning disability? So, what do you think so? Well, the correct answer is letter B. Measuring the student's progress in the specific areas the technology is designed to support. Why do you think so? So, the purpose of assistive technology is to improve performance in specific areas like speech and writing. So, for example, if a speech-to-text tool improves writing quality and completion rate, it's working. So, for option A, enjoyment. So, a student may enjoy using it but not necessarily improve academically. For option C, the frequency of use or how often it is being used. So using the tool often doesn't mean it's effective. For option D, teacher observation. So teachers might not notice subtle improvements. So this option is not the best. So the correct answer again for question 84 is letter B. Now let's proceed to question number 85. So a school plans to develop a classroom management system that reflects sociological principles. So what is the best approach? The correct answer is letter B. Design a system that adapts to diverse student needs. So why? Sociological principles focus on understanding and meeting the diverse needs of the group. For example, flexible seating, conflict resolution strategies, and peer mediation reflect sociological understanding. So for option A, rigid rules. So this does not count for individual differences. For option C, teacher-only responsibility. So it ignores the social aspect of student interaction. For option D, discipline-based approach. This focuses on punishment rather than social understanding. So the correct answer again is letter B. Now, let's proceed to question number 86. So, a teacher wants students to develop their own classroom policies based on sociological theories. What is the best strategy? So, what do you think is the best strategy? So, the correct answer is letter A. Allow students to draft policies with teacher guidance. So why do you think is this the correct answer? It is because sociological principles emphasize collective input and shared responsibility. So for example, students could create rules about conflict resolution and respect with teacher oversight. So why are the other options wrong? So for option B, following existing policies. So no student input involved because they already followed existing policies. For option C, teacher-made rules. So teacher-made rules can make the student feel ignored because it actually ignores student participation. For option D, memorizing policies. So understanding and creating are more valuable. Yes, it is really more valuable than just mere memorization. So the correct answer again for question number 86 is Letter A. Now let's proceed to question number 87. So a curriculum specialist is designing an interactive lesson that encourages students to analyze social issues and propose solutions. So what method best supports this goal? So what is the correct answer? So the correct answer is letter C, engaging students in a collaborative community project. So why? Collaboration and real-world problem solving align with sociological analysis. So for example, a project on waste management in the community allows students to analyze causes and suggest solutions. So the other options are wrong. For option A, lecture-based instruction. So lecture-based instruction provides only passive learning and not active problem solving. So this option is eventually wrong. For option B, report assignment. So research alone doesn't develop solutions. So this option is again not incorrect. For option D, summarizing concepts. Understanding isn't enough. Action is needed. So by merely summarizing concept, it doesn't really answer the question. So the correct answer again for number 87 is letter C. Now let's proceed to question number 88. So a school is revising its inclusive education framework. What should be the primary focus? So what should be the primary focus? So the correct answer is letter A, implementing strategies that accommodate diverse learners. Why? So true inclusion means making adjustments to meet individual learning needs. So for example, providing speech to text for students with language challenges reflects true inclusion. So the other options are wrong. For B, separate programs, segregation is not inclusion. For C, identical methods. So inclusion requires flexibility, not being identical. D, for option D, standardized assessments. So one size fits all evaluation doesn't reflect needs. So the correct answer for question number 88 is letter A. Now let's go or proceed to question number 89. So a teacher is designing an assessment model for students with special needs. Which approach is most effective? So which approach is most effective? The correct answer is letter A, creating multiple ways for students to demonstrate learning. So why? Why is this the correct answer? Well, different students excel in different formats. Some prefer oral presentations, others prefer writing or projects. So for example, offering a choice between an essay, presentation, or a project. So the other options are wrong because for option B, same method for all, it actually ignores individual strengths. For option C, fewer assessments. So this lowers expectations unfairly. For option D, written tests only. So this excludes students who struggle with writing. So now, the correct answer again for question number 89 is letter A. Now for the last question, question number 90. So a school wants to increase community involvement in inclusive education. So what initiative is most appropriate? So what do you think is the correct answer? So the correct answer for question number 90 is letter B, developing partnerships with families and organizations. So why is this the correct answer? So inclusion thrives when families and the communities are involved, of course. So, for example, partnering with therapy centers and parent groups for better student support. So, the other options are wrong because A, annual seminar. So, a one-time event isn't enough. Yeah, actually, it is not enough. For option C, restricting discussions to staff. When you restrict, you exclude key stakeholders. That's why this option is not correct. For option D, separating programs. Inclusion means combining, not dividing. So this option again is wrong. So the correct answer for this is, again, option letter B. So that's it for my discussion about the principles of teaching. So I hope you learned something from me for this session, and may we all strive to become future LPTs. Good luck, and once again, thank you and goodbye.